Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, government pays $709 million Eurobond ahead of schedule. Also coming up today on the Joy Business Van, we take you inside Rose Aluminium's journey to becoming a leading force in West Africa's cookware market. We have these and more coming up in this bulletin. My name is Winston Taki. Now let's bring you an update on the commodity prices on the global market. This is Business Live. My name is Winston Taki, and now to more business update. Government has made an early payment of $709 million Eurobond, a move officials say strengthens the nation's fiscal credibility and ongoing economic recovery. The following report has more.
In a statement released on Wednesday, December 31, 2025, the Ministry of Finance confirmed the payment was processed on December 30 ahead of its due date. Finance Minister Dr. Ato Forson described the settlement as a critical milestone in Ghana's debt management strategy. This latest payment brings the total Eurobond settlement for 2025 to approximately $1.4 billion. Earlier in the year, the government made two separate payments of $349.52 million each, consistent with the terms of its agreed debt restructuring program. Dr. Forson stated that the discipline and transparent servicing of obligations is central to rebuilding investor confidence and reaffirming Ghana's standing as a reliable sovereign borrower. He emphasized that the government remains committed to intensifying reforms in domestic revenue mobilization, public financial management, and debt sustainability. The ministry statement further outlined plans to strengthen fiscal buffers to ensure future debt obligations can be met without compromising financing for national development projects.
We are joined on Zoom by senior lecturer at the University of Ghana and the executive director of CPS, Dr. Edu Owusu-Sarkodie, to give us more insight on this development from the Finance Ministry. Dr. Sarkodie, thank you for joining us. Ghana has made an early $709 million Eurobond payment. How significant is this move in restoring the country's credibility with international investors?
Significant, and it's a good step in the right direction. We must commend the administrators of the economy for also committing to what was started by the previous administration. We saw how we lost access to the Eurobond market in the year 2022 because our economy was deemed as not having the ability to repay our debt because we could not pass some revenue measures in the 2023 budget. Now, going into 2023, we saw the difficulties. We had to run to the IMF program, and a prior action was to restructure our debt. So if you put these two together, Ghana was not in a position of creditworthiness. And so having gone through these painful haircuts, bondholders having endured this, we had to do something as a country to get back our credibility and restore investor confidence. And so it is very good that we are showing commitment, serious commitment to their repayment. The bondholders have sacrificed by taking their restructured debt. And so we must, as a country, also show that we are sacrificing by making early payments even ahead of time. So it is a very significant step that the ministry or the minister and the government have taken, something which was started by the previous administration, and it's good that they have stayed the course of ensuring that Ghana regains its position as a credit-worthy country. I believe that these developments will give us an upgrade in the next credit ratings by the credit rating agencies. So it is good for us and it is good for our economy going forward in the event that we decide to go to any capital market to borrow. At least we have something to show that when they give us the money, we can pay.
Now, with total Eurobond settlement hitting about $1.4 billion in 2025, is this pace of repayment fiscally sustainable, or does it pose any new risks down the line?
I think so far so good. Two factors have worked in our favor, especially the first one, especially the exchange rate. I like the way our city has been kept under control. You mentioned that the recent repayments about $700 million. If the exchange rate had been 14, we'll be using 9.8 billion Ghana cedis. Now the exchange rate is around 11. Let's say 11. So we are using, say, 7.7 billion Ghana cedis to make the repayment. This has given the country a savings of 2.1 billion Ghana cedis just because of the appreciation of the currency. So we are using less cedis to pay the same Eurobond. So to the extent that we are able to keep our cedis stable or even appreciated, I don't see any possible risk for us going forward in the 2026, 2027. Another thing that I'm happy about is the amount of reserves that the Bank of Ghana has been able to build over the years, thanks to the IMF program and other inflows. Currently, we are talking about some $12 billion reserves that we have, plus some gold reserves. Our gold reserves, as I know, are around 38 tons, which is very good. And we also, the government is trying to invest more into the sinking fund, which will give us a buffer to make debt repayment. So all these developments are, giving us good signals. Plus, the Minister of Finance commitment to domestic resource mobilization. Remember that even if you go to borrow, you have to come home to mobilize resources domestically to service the debt. And so no matter how much you are able to raise outside, you still need the domestic revenue to help you mobilize to service your debt. So I am happy that the minister or the ministry or the government have committed to domestic resource mobilization. I will particularly single out the natural resource that Ghana has natural resource in abundance, gold, lithium. Next year we're going to start producing lithium. We have crude oil. We should take advantage of the presence or the abundance of the natural resource to raise enough revenue so that we can pay our debt and also finance developments of the country. So I don't see any major risk ahead of us, given that, as you said, the economics, all things being equal, if the exchange rate is tamed and we're able to increase revenue mobilization and the Bank of Ghana keeps building reserves, I believe that we'll be in a better position to service future debt.
Great, Doc. Now, looking ahead to 2026, do you share the government's optimism that this strategy can translate into real economic transformation for businesses and households, not just balance sheets?
Well, yes, as we all know, many of the macroeconomic variables are related, so inflation related to debt service related to exchange rate, et cetera, et cetera. So once you have the investor confidence, once you've sent a signal that when you borrow, you will pay back, investors are likely to also commit their resources to you anytime you go to the market to borrow. Not only that, it will also send a good signal to other people, other investors who are willing to invest do physical investment in your country, like maybe coming to set up a business that will produce water or something, or laptops in your country. So all these developments are good. I foresee that the economy would rebound next year, given the macros that we have chopped over the period. You take a look at the 2026 budget, the government has given us a clear indication that they're going to expand their expenditure. And everything is based on the ability to mobilize revenue domestically. So I want to suggest that they're able to mobilize resources domestically. And that if you have money, you'll be able to finance so many things. So better days ahead. We just hope for the better. And we believe, or we just pray, that the government will stay committed to the fiscal discipline after the IMF have exited. That is a litmus test for them. That's what everybody is looking for. People are looking at how the government will behave when the IMF have exited. And I believe that, we just hope that they stay the course of fiscal discipline. So it's good for us, it's good for investors domestically and external, it's good for all of us. We just hope that things will be better and better than we have now.
Dr. Owusu Edu-Sarkodie, thank you so much for your time here on Business Live. We appreciate your insight as always. Now, moving on, exporters in the non-traditional export sector are making a passionate appeal to government to pay particular attention to the sector as an avenue to grow local economies across the country. This is aimed at ensuring that the sector growth is sustained to rake in more foreign exchange for the country. Speaking to Joy Business, Executive Director for Trade Aid Africa, Nicholas Apokera, explains that over-concentration on traditional export like gold and cocoa alone is not enough to grow the economy.
So we need at some point to say that, look, we want to be deliberate about growing the Ghanaian economy by promoting our local production and promoting local consumption. And we cannot do this by running the exchange rates the way we are doing now.
Okay. But do you think there's the need for cost of production also to be looked at? Do you think there's a policy to check on cost of production, especially?
Yes, cost of production has to be looked at. What are the main areas of the cost build-up of our local producers? If you take things like the rice sector, you have the raw material, the paddy rice, then you have utility costs and all that. These things are very high, but these are things that government, especially with the utilities, it's something that government has control over. And government has to be able to manage the utility sector that it promotes, local production. If the electricity bills are so high, the rice miller will have no alternative than to pass that cost to the final consumer. If I'm buying fertilizer at a very high price, why is that up to now we cannot produce fertilizer in this country? If I'm buying fertilizer at a high cost, then I have no option than to pass that to the consumer. So, yes, production cost has to be looked at, but many of the variables around that are out of the control of the actual producer, and it is the responsibility of government to review that and bring up policies that will bring down the production costs.
As exporters or as an exporter, we are entering into 2026. What would be your expectation? What would be what will you be looking out for that government could do, or even the private sector yourselves, to support the economic growth and then also to ensure that there's that enabling business, enabling environment?
Now, moving on, Rose Aluminium Company Limited is navigating both opportunity and challenges within Ghana's manufacturing sector, with ambitions to become a leading West African brand in aluminium cookware. In this episode, the Joy Business explores how the company is turning that vision into reality through skill, leadership, innovation, and resilience.
From humble beginnings to a household name, Rose Aluminium Company Limited continues to evolve, driven by a vision that looks beyond today's market to tomorrow's possibilities. At the heart of this growth is a clear vision to build a competitive Ghanaian brand that blends tradition, innovation, and sustainability while creating jobs and strengthening local industry. Bermose Bonsu is Executive Director of Rose Aluminium.
There's no doubt when it comes to the demand of utensils, because households are forming every day. People are eating and cooking every day, So the demand is there, there's no doubt. And the SAB region, Ghana is one of the major players in this industry. So we have a lot of people, around the SAB region who come, patronize our products. We engage in exports, directly and indirectly, as a company. But so as for demand, it's not like in doubt.
Despite the strong demand for cookware, Berma says Rose Aluminium is currently operating below its full production capacity.
In terms of our capacity, we can produce up to about 1,500 tons of aluminium like a year, of utensils like a year. But I think currently we'll be lucky to even do 30% of that, because for a lot of varied reasons. We are just operating at about 30%. We used to be about 150 workers, at some point, but due to like certain challenges, we had to scale down to about, I think right now, full-time permanent workers are looking at about 50. We have some casuals who come, every now and then, but those on payroll full-time, about 50 workers. So we've had to manage our scale, like over the years. So currently, we do about 20 to 30% of our, of our production capacity. Our operating capacity is about 20 to 30%, of our production capacity. Yeah.
Manufacturing in Ghana comes with its own set of challenges, from energy costs to competition from imported products. But Berma believes companies like his could significantly scale up output if they receive the right incentives, particularly as the government moves to roll out its 24-hour economy policy.
The structures we work with, or the ecosystem we are in, makes it very difficult for us to scale. Like I said, working 8 hours is even a problem, very expensive for us, much less like 24 hours, so these things must be looked at, these conversations must be had when it comes to like the cost of borrowing, our tax rates, the cost of our power and utility. Since we contribute in driving, growth in the economy, we employ people, like support the government in their employment agenda. So I feel like some of these things I've mentioned must be looked at, and I feel like the full potential of the company could be realized.
From improved mold designs to more efficient production processes, Rose Aluminium has embraced innovation to stay ahead of competition and to deliver stronger, better finished products to the market.
Like over the next couple of years, we are working on things that would make our products more durable, more, pleasing to the eye, expect us to really dominate the market with the kind of technology that we are currently working on. I can't give out too much information yet, because it's still my trade secrets, but definitely expect something from us. Rose Aluminium is about to launch, the same products, but much more better, more durable. And I know you're wondering how much more durable it can be, but trust me, we are going to actually increase in terms of the kind of durability that we are going to give to customers in terms of technology we are bringing.
Beyond production, Rose Aluminium's impact is measured in jobs created, skills transferred, and livelihoods sustained, especially here in Accra.
Over the years, definitely we've employed thousands of people. A lot of people have passed through the company. A lot of new companies coming up are actually using our workers, so we have our workers littered all around. Everybody has had a feel of Rose Aluminium, because I think besides us in the industry as a major player, there's only, I think, 2 other companies that are much older than us, in the space. So when it comes to the people that we've impacted and trained, there are so many, and they're all over the country, even in the sub-region, to companies that are producing hollowware.
Rose Aluminium's inclusive workplace is reflected in its leadership, with a production manager who has a speaking and hearing impairment, proving that competence goes beyond physical limitations.
One of my main guys, he knows the factory floor like no other. He's more like family now. He runs the show here. We've grown up, together, So our production manager, for instance, end-to-end production, I tell people that if you ask him what the balance of any material or any finished good is, he works with the numbers in his head. Very sharp guy, and we are blessed to have such people here. So it makes us feel good about the kind of impact we are creating. Because I dare say that I don't think there's any place in Ghana who would give someone like him this kind of position. But not in this country or not in this sub-region. It's not a common thing here, but we saw his potential and we harnessed it over the years, and I feel like he's really served us very well.
Looking ahead, the company is focused on growth, both in product range and market reach, with an eye on regional expansion.
I want to explore the entire value chain. When it comes to aluminium, I want to explore the entire value chain, because I really believe in the potential of the metal, far above even gold. I believe in the potential of aluminium to transform, like the economy, to transform, like a country. Because if you give me time, I'll speak the whole day about the benefit and use of the metal, in terms of its use in construction, its use in car manufacturing, its use in making aircrafts, its uses in making like food grade, like foil containers and like utensils we make. It's very varied. When you go to China, for instance, aluminium is used for many things, and it blows your mind. I visited the aluminium village in May, and I was blown away with the kind of things that is being done with aluminium. I want to replicate that here in Ghana, and explore the value chain as much as possible. Who knows? Even go all the way as far back as bauxite when I'm backward integrating, so that we handle the entire value chain. That's my dream.
The vision is clear: to position Rose Aluminium as a leading West African brand in aluminum cookware.
Away from that, as the new year fast approaches, the Deputy Managing Director, Support of Societe Generale Ghana, Kwame Abe, has shared a New Year goodwill message, assuring customers to expect even more from the bank in the coming year.
We're close. We wish to appreciate our customers whose partnership we treasure a lot. Together with you, we have built a year that we should all be proud of. We wish you a happy new year. In the new year 2026, we are hoping to build with you seamless products that will inure to your benefit and the benefit of our bank. Again, we wish you a happy new year. Keep banking with Societe Generale Ghana.
On that note, Happy New Year to all our viewers here on Business Live, and we'll bring you more Business Insight at 8 p.m. here on Join This channel. My name is Winston Taki. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.